Let's talk about confidence, bonus episode. Confidence versus motivation, what your brain is actually... Welcome to Let's Talk About Confidence. I'm John M. Walsh. This is a bonus episode. It's shorter than usual, but it came from a question that a subscriber sent in. They asked, what's the difference between confidence and motivation? It's a good question, because people use those words interchangeably all the time, and then they beat themselves up when one of them disappears. So let's untangle them properly and simply. At first glance, confidence and motivation sound similar, but they're doing completely different jobs in your brain. Motivation is about wanting. Confidence is about coping. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this? Confidence asks, if this gets uncomfortable or doesn't go well, can I handle it? Those two questions activate different neural systems entirely. Understanding that distinction changes how you approach both. Motivation is driven largely by dopamine. Now, dopamine isn't a happiness chemical. That's a common misconception. It's an anticipation chemical. It fires when something feels rewarding, novel, or when progress seems quick and certain. And this explains something you've probably noticed. Motivation shows up strongly at the start of things. Think about it. January the 1st, new gym membership. You're up early, bag packed, playlist ready. First session feels great, second one too. By week 3, the alarm goes off and you're negotiating with yourself about whether you really need to go today. Or you start a new project at work. Day 1, you're full of ideas, energy's high. You're thinking about all the possibilities. A month in, you're grinding through the middle section and that initial spark has completely vanished. Now that's not weakness. That's dopamine doing exactly what it evolved to do. Get you started, then move on to the next novel thing. The system is designed for bursts, not marathons. Motivation was never meant to be constant fuel. So when your motivation fades, and it will fade, that's not a sign you've chosen the wrong goal or that something's wrong with you. That's the system working as it intended. Confidence operates in a different mechanism entirely. Confidence isn't about excitement or enthusiasm. It's about how safe your nervous system perceives you to be. Your brain runs a background process constantly, asking one question. If this goes badly, can I cope? When confidence is solid, the threat system stays quieter. Your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, planning part, that stays online. You can speak clearly, decide under pressure, act despite uncertainty. When confidence is low, stress hormones rise, thinking narrows, and avoidance starts to feel like relief. So confidence isn't loud or dramatic. You won't necessarily feel pumped up or excited. Confidence is steady. It's quiet. It's the absence of internal alarm bells, not the presence of enthusiasm. Here's a mistake I see constantly. People wait to feel motivated before they act, hoping confidence will follow. But that's backwards. Confidence doesn't come from feeling ready. Confidence comes from doing small, survivable things without feeling ready. And then noticing, I handled that. Let me make this concrete. Say you've been avoiding a difficult conversation with a colleague. You keep waiting until you feel ready, till you've figured out exactly what to say, till the moment feels right. That readiness never arrives because your brain has no evidence that you can handle the conversation. So it keeps the threat system active and you keep avoiding. But if you've the conversation, even badly, even awkwardly, even if it doesn't go perfectly, something shifts. Afterwards you notice that was uncomfortable, but I survived, I coped. The world didn't end. That experience gets stored as evidence, and evidence, not positive thinking, not affirmations, not hype, is what actually calms the brain's threat system. The next difficult conversation becomes slightly less threatening, not because you've changed, because your brain now has the data that says, we've done this before, and we were okay. This is why genuinely confident people often look calm rather than fired up. They don't need a big emotional push to act. They've accumulated enough evidence that they trust themselves to cope with whatever happens. So motivation says, I feel like doing this. Confidence says, I don't need to feel like it. I know how to handle it. That's a fundamentally different relationship with action. When someone tells me I've lost my motivation, here's what's usually happening beneath the surface. Stress is increased. Uncertainty feels higher than usual. The brain is conserving energy. The threat system is more alert. You might recognise this state. Everything feels harder than it should. Tasks that used to be automatic now require enormous effort. You're tired, but you can't point to why. You start things and don't finish them. You scroll instead of act. And you make plans and then quietly abandon them. And the voice in your head starts telling you that you're lazy, undisciplined, that other people manage this. Why can't you? But that's not what's actually happening. What's happening is your nervous system has shifted into a more defensive state. It's prioritising safety over growth. In that state, chasing motivation rarely works. Inspirational videos, new planners, fresh starts on Monday, they might create a temporary spike, but it doesn't last because the brain isn't asking for inspiration, it's asking for safety and predictability. So instead of trying to manufacture motivation, address what's actually happening. Your nervous system needs reassurance that you can cope with what's in front of you. That's a confidence problem, not a motivation problem. And confidence problems require evidence, not enthusiasm. 3 things that work with your brain instead of against it. The first one is shrink the task. Not to make it easy, to make it survivable. Instead of write the report, try open the document and write 1 paragraph. Instead of have the difficult conversation, try send a message asking when they're free to talk. Confidence grows from completions, not from ambitious plans that never get finished. A small thing done beats a big thing avoided every single time. The second, change what you measure. Stop asking, did it go well? And ask only, did I do the thing? Showing up counts. Outcomes are often outside your control, but action isn't. And your brain builds confidence from action, not from results. And the third one is let confidence lag behind behaviour. You often won't feel confident until after you've acted several times. That's not a sign something's wrong. That's how the brain learns. You act first, evidence accumulates, confidence follows. Waiting to feel confident before you act is waiting for an effect before you've created the cause. Here's how I'd hold this distinction. Motivation's a feeling. Confidence is a relationship with yourself. Motivation comes and goes, and that's fine. It was never meant to be permanent fuel. Confidence is built quietly through repeated proof that you can handle discomfort without needing everything to feel perfect first. One fluctuates by design, the other compounds through evidence. So stop chasing the fluctuating one, start building the one that compounds. So if you've been telling yourself you should feel more motivated, nothing's broken. You don't need more pressure. You don't need more hype. You don't need another fresh start. You need smaller actions, fewer demands on yourself, and time for your nervous system to relearn that you're capable of coping. That's how real confidence is built. Not through feeling ready, through acting anyway and discovering you can handle it. Thanks for listening. I'm John M. Walsh. This is Let's Talk About Confidence. See you next time.